Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Shantae Half-Genie Hero. So we did the main game, so now it's a question about what else do we want to play. Like, replaying in hero mode would just replay the adventure with the main transformations unlocked. There's really not, I think, a major reason why you'd want to do that unless you just want to get an achievement, or maybe two, and speedrun the game a little bit easier that way. Hardcore mode seems to probably just reduce your life, I imagine, so you just like have no health bars at all. That's as close as I could guess. But this is also indicated as just a setting and not really a different experience. Whereas Pirate Queen's Quest looks like actual gameplay. And we could play as Risky Boots in her regular outfit, or we could play in her Possessed by Evil outfit. Let's go with the Possessed by Evil outfit. See, that's a whole new slot, whereas Hardcore mode is a whole new slot also. And I guess that's a whole new slot too, so they're all new slots, which I guess means really there's quite a lot of different save slots for these different modes.
There are two sides to every story.
Quite a lot of voice acting here and quite a lot of animation. Interesting. Get around, everyone. I want to show you my latest invention. I call it the Dynamo. Ooh, how exciting, Uncle. What does it do? Watch closely. When I flip the switch, the opposing light and light magic and dark magic will spawn, generating enough power to light up Scuttletown. Pirate raids will be a thing of the past. So we're getting slightly different dialogue than what we saw in the main story. And this does seem like this is a just like spin-off experience of the main story where you play as Risky Boots. So then the question really to ask here is, would there have been value in just making everybody play this part of the game in the main story? I liked the main game perfectly fine, but I did feel like it was kind of missing some levels. So had this been the point where Risky Boots swapped like brains with Shantae, and then you played as Shantae in Risky Boots' body, that would have been interesting. Or if the game just forced you to play as Risky Boots just while Shantae was knocked out, that would have been interesting too. If you say so, Uncle. Now then, is everyone ready? Do it. All set. I hope it explodes. Okay, here goes nothing. Looking good. That is. Uncle, what's happening? Oh, uh-oh. I don't like the looks of this. This is mostly repeated dialogue. Some of it might be slightly different. Look out, it's going to explode. See, remember that there was that whole inside of Shantae's mind sequence that was really just a cutscene. There's no way to shut it off. Ho ho ho. And yep, we can take a moment to look at Risky Boots in her evil possessed form with red eyes and red outfits. It's Risky Boots. Now, Risky Boots didn't really play a great role in the main game, so this would also have been a great argument to, if you were gonna play as her, make that something that worked fairly well towards integrating her better into the story. I really wonder at some point if the Ultimate Edition wasn't an experiment in DLC, and I'm not sure this is the kind of game, particularly since this was mostly kickstarted, I'm not sure if this is the kind of game that really would have been well received if it had a bunch of DLC. Drat, she outsmarted us again.
You poor, unsuspecting fool.
Now we've gone completely off the rails as far as what's being said. This is basically saying the same thing, but putting Risky Boots as more articulate and smarter. Huh? What do you mean? Surely you've noticed the side effects. Just watch what it does to that half-genie brat. What's more interesting here is the music in the background. It seems to be new. And so now Shantae is full of evil magic. It turned her all scary. She looks gross. I like it. Your friend, you fiend, you've inverted her magic. With this machine...
Anything I want from good into evil.
Which, honestly, if you could do that, why not do that to everybody in this room? And then you'd eliminate a lot of threats to your plan. In fact, you would also have kept Shantae controlled by evil. A few more modifications and I'll be able to control all of Sequin Land. Which isn't even what she tried to do. She tried to control the genie realm. Sigh, once again I'm overshadowed by your sheer genius. What a fool I've been. Have fun untangling the mixed up magic of your genie friend. I'm off to unlock the full potential of this machine. Oh ho ho.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta. Alright. So perhaps this is going to be a slightly longer experience than what I think it will be.
Everything was going
By
exactly as planned.
making me get a bunch of pieces to modify the experiment, modify the dynamo. And we saw in the concept art that there was pictures of her, Risky Boots, in her pirate bathtub, which seems to be heated by lava. I wonder if this is going to be more voice acted and if how much gameplay is actually here.
Another perfect heist.
Seems like almost every line is voice acted. No, just the first three. Those fools played right into my hands. Just imagine a machine that can invert magic.
Everything I want is mine for the taking.
It almost seems like the first tier of lines of dialogue, the things that they absolutely needed to have recorded, got recorded, and then they ran out of budget, or the voice actor walked off the set, as it were, for all the other lines of dialogue. All I need is do-gooder magic, and there's no greater source of that than that accursed genie realm. I will make their power my own. Then I will rule all over all of Sequin Land.
True.
True. In its current form, the machine is much too weak for a task of this magnitude. We're going to need 5 components to get the job done. If I had them, I could upgrade the machine, rip open the genie realm, corrupt its magic, and roll over everything. Oh. So, much like the main game, it's collect 5 pieces. The dancing she-brat won't stay down for long. I'll have to finish her off for good this time. But first I need those 5 components. And if I know those moronic barons of Sequin Land, they'll have just the parts I need. Now, where should I search first? Alright. So we have travel, talk, and save. Interesting.
Now, where to begin?
So if you talk, you get a hint.
You.
If we
Take this
save,
down.
here, saving, interesting. So it seems like they're going to mostly have this be your main menu. Very possibly there won't be any upgrades at all. Yep. So, yeah. You start at the captain's cab, and then we'll go to Main Street. Then we'll go to Mermaid Falls, then we'll go to Tasseltown, then the Cape Crustacean, then Hypno Baron's Castle. And after all of that, I imagine we will beat the whole level. And you can see that they've redrawn and reskinned the map, so now it has little dots on it. So, the question asked here is, we have a different save guy. An attack on this backwater burg will prove the perfect distraction while I purloin the component part I need. Ho ho ho, huh?
My men!
My men.
Dare they start without me? I'll punish you, but good.
So yeah, seems like she's gonna be punishing the people, and it seems like we have an infinite amount of magic in the top menu here. We have infinite bullets that don't seem to trigger with the right trigger, and the left trigger summons men, and then Y does nothing, B shoots the gun, or we don't have any missiles, and we don't have any fireballs. See, the first one is infinite, apparently, but this is not infinite, and this is not infinite, and they should have animated the 0 differently than the infinite symbol. And she's effectively... I just collected a rancid gem. Interesting. Let's hit the moment here and see. We will get apparently upgrades to just our default weapons, and that's it. And 2 kinds of treasures, genie crystals and dark magic. And the main collectible items are now here as components, whereas the magic transformations were there before. Yeah, alright. Can she dive downward? No. So, while these might be the same levels, they are not the first instance of these same levels. These also seem to have a lot more people attacking. And they probably will be smaller levels now, because we won't have anything going on. The trick is to shoot it, of course. We've got more of these guys, and they look like they might be drawn slightly different in this instance. If we can't dance, though, and transform, then we either need to get an ability that would let us have go through the water, or we're gonna go through levels that just have like water there but nothing inside the water, which is also a possibility. I suppose of all the levels that have been made, none of them would be impossible to move through with just your standard jumping and platforming abilities. I'm not 100% sure you couldn't run through the main game with just a speedrunning attempt, and thus not really need to get any of the transformations. Maybe this was an idea, and this is the reason why all these levels are so linear. It could also be the reason why we have such small areas in the first place. Alright, let's see. Hit that, hit that, hit that, hit that, and go this way. Yeah, I just don't know if I really agree with this idea. Yeah. And clearly there will be some kind of ability. Yep. And now we have quite a lot of other kinds of shots in it for a gun. But who are we going to fight as a boss character? Because that's the part that would be really confusing here. All of these seem to be connected to each other. And there's no guaranteeing that there actually is anything. And if there was like secrets hidden in places where we once thought there might be secrets, it'd be interesting. Yeah, but I don't even have a way to get up there, let alone potentially hit that. Oops, I was not paying attention to the health at all. But also, it's not like there was too much I could have done to improve my health. We have like all of one, I wonder if there's maybe an achievement for getting all the way through this part without getting hit once, or like letting it fail. Like that's one hit, that's a quarter hit. I got a heart there, a heart there. We know that there's a secret thing, but oddly, she doesn't have a crawl ability. She does have a slide ability though. So we got some dark magic. Alright, well. We'll have to keep that in mind, that down and A is slide for risky boots. Maybe that will play into some helpful way. We're in a weird position where it's kind of hard to justify using your abilities because it doesn't really feel like there's anything really going on there. That got me full health. But let's go here, 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 fire, here, 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 and here. Watch my health. Like, all I have is like 2 things of health though, so can't really watch it too much. Like, I can go over here and eat some rancid jam. There is definitely some danger though in the fact that this is the first level section and it is just more running through the exact same levels. And sure, if this DLC came out 4 or 5 months after the main game, that might be a excuse to go back and play it. But we've got like 4 more game modes, and if they're all just doing the exact same levels again, I don't think the level design here are good enough to justify doing that. The level here is not good enough to justify doing it twice, really. There you are. No one attacks until I give the orders. Got that? Nothing to say? Now you're just begging to be punished. Tinker Slug. Tinkerbat Turncoats. Alright, so... We're waiting for it to roll again. Nope, nope, that is way slower. Nothing here really feels that different. Yeah, got an achievement for that. But yeah, that really feels like you just played the whole level a second time, and I barely even succeeded there.
Don't you dare defy me again.
You'll loot and pillage under my orders. Got it?
Weigh anchor.
Way anchor.
And don't leave without your captain.
And so that gives us a different item, which then gives me a different achievement. So I got like 2 achievements in a row. Excellent. With this component in hand, I'll be able to make the dynamo even stronger. Imagine we're gonna get that every single time.
What's this?
Is this for me? You got the pirate hat. Use the pirate hat to glide through the air with the greatest of ease. And in this case, you've got Risky Boots completely naked and just a convenient arm hiding her nipples, I suppose.
Wonderful.
Good work, man. I'll put this pirate hat to the test right away. Keep those contraptions coming.
Now, stop fooling around and man your stations.
She had a pirate hat in the previous game, and pretty much always. Those fools were no match for me. Now to take a closer look at this dark magic. I can use this to augment my pirate gear and other abilities. My strength, speed, fortitude. I'll have so many delightful qualities, it'll be impossible to choose just one. Everything about me is just so delicious. Open your subscreen and select an ability to upgrade it. So we can just do that right now. Upgrade 1 dark magic to upgrade our health, which tells us, looking at all of these abilities and the fact that we're going to get more abilities, tells us that there's going to be a decent amount of dark magic to collect. And if we're getting new abilities, there's probably a decent argument that going back through the levels is going to be required. Oh, I can feel the dark magic working. Now where should I search next? Do we really need to save in this screen ever? I don't think so. Do we ever need a hint? I don't think so. Yeah. I think almost everybody would play this game just in the linear pattern, except for maybe a speedrunner that figures out that there's like a different way to play these levels. And I'd like to see some skips here, certainly. I'd like to be able to potentially skip like the slide section in this level. With a hint of nerd stench riding around the winds from nearby sea caves. No doubt caused by the wannabe tinkerer, the Technobaron. If that scaly runt's operating in this area, one of my precious components could be close at hand. I'll track him down, and then I'll take what I want. Ho ho ho. Yeah, if this was just every section was voiced, I wouldn't have to read it out loud. I'd be much happier. Alright, so now we know that the right trigger is this, which, okay, that'll help us a little bit eventually, but I imagine not so much. And since there are no rupees, we are just collecting quite a lot of things. And here we have a new enemy that we had seen in the previous game. I don't think this guy has been hit once. So I'm just gonna avoid him. Can't get those. Get those. Get up here. Oh, I figured out you have to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Well, however you're supposed to actually defeat that guy, I don't think it's really worth the effort to try it. We'll probably have better attacks later. You can definitely see that there are some other platforms here. And then there's a door that we probably can't break. I guess the question you could ask when seeing a sequence like this in a different gameplay method is, could you have made levels where the I guess that's the real question is, could you have had some middle rooms that had different ways to get from point A to point B, and then have the rest of the game play out fairly similarly, so that I guess the idea would be, could you just have selected Risky Boots as your character that you want to play as at the beginning of the first main game, and then Risky Boots' abilities would let you still play the main game. I mean, that's effectively what we're doing anyways, is we're still playing the main game. But did it need to be its own separate thing? Or could this have been a game where you just switched between Risky Boots on the fly whenever you wanted to, and you could have transformations between the characters that way? I don't feel like... Interesting. This is different. I don't think the gel characters were in the game in this area. This is all about getting it done fast. And it does feel like you have to play a little bit faster here, because otherwise you will end up accidentally like hurting yourself. Nope. So, well, actually, can we do this and then this? Nope, not at the moment. And I'll need to upgrade my glide quite a bit. They didn't ever really get that perfect. And that drops you nicely there, making that easier. I want to see what happens when she gets eaten. Well, same thing that happens when the other characters. When Shantae is eaten. It'll be interesting to see if we can access the snake store. I imagine the answer is no. Yeah. If you got a dance where Shantae could transform into each of her friends, or each of the characters, the main important characters, and then that gave you different abilities and different ways to play, but there was really no major requirement to play that way, that might be very interesting. But then you would definitely have had to have made a whole new class of pirate-only platforms that only Risky Boots could stand on. If you were gonna have it work that way, and that would just take more thinking, more planning, more thinking and planning than I think Way Forward probably had the manpower for. I don't know why I'm even bothering to collect so much of this stuff. This one's moving incredibly slowly. Yeah. I guess we're going up here. Yeah. Definitely feels like I'm just overburdening myself. Wow. I really boned that one up. Well, no one made it worse. Do I care to fall even further downward? Alright, so you hit this, and then you jump over there. Then you hit that. Then you hit that. And that hits that. And that gets that back there. Just having to reset everything. Yeah, you're really gonna suffer if you fall down on this path. Yeah, I really don't get the idea of getting new abilities here. That just doesn't feel like the thing that's important to focus on. I think it makes a lot more sense for you to focus on instead making new levels. These are permanent platforms. Thank goodness for that. But I don't know how to actually grab that You have to just kind of angle yourself, I guess, a little bit to the right as you jump up. We can still drop downward. Although, once again, what does it really matter? Because at best you get food. And we're seeing a lot fewer enemies. And we're seeing a slightly quicker experience. Although I don't see a reason to really make the player do this at all. Like, this doesn't even really make sense now because you've got... we didn't see any of the maidens getting turned into monster chow, so we don't know that those barrels are monster chow barrels. I may very well just have to pause the game because there's way more enemies that are right in front of me, and I could try and attack, but I think I can only attack if I'm in the air, not when I'm sliding. So, best case scenario, I should be jumping over them. A lot more juicy melons to collect in this one. Which I imagine the idea here is to recognize that this is going to be a shorter experience and just move the game forward. Set you up for your first big boss fight with, I assume, the Sea Queen. And I assume she's going to be basically the same battle, and yeah, she was the nicest visually looking battle in the whole game. It's kind of a shame you fight her first or second. No one defies me. I'll wring the thick neck if he has one. The idea here, I guess you could go with like zombie variants of each of the characters and reskin the characters, but I bet they don't want to spend that effort, or like robot versions of the characters that have been rebuilt like RoboCop. You there, get lost. I just got production back on track and will not tolerate further distractions. Arg, listen up, you little creep. I know you've got the part I need. Hand it over if you know what's good for you. No one speaks to Techno Baron in this manner. No one. Tisk. We can do this the easy way, or the teeth to tail slicing, torso gutting, sloppy way. Yee ha ha ha. I like the cut of your jib, Queen of the Seven Seas, is it? Well, turns out my Sea Queen is a whole lot bigger than yours. But don't take my word for it. See for yourself. Gra ha ha ha. Yeah, there's really just no difference here, though. They really spent a lot of time animating this giant Sea Queen. And they so underuse her. Should have used my hat. And I just died in the battle. Yeah, it's really a shame. You kind of would want to see a whole experience there, just around the Sea Queen. Build up and more motivation to free her. Of course, when you're playing a Shantae, you kind of know that Shantae's going to be a good character, so... Oh, seriously, how... So you just gotta dodge damage like crazy because these giant floating orbs not only seek on you, they they will do you. Recaptured captive Giga Mermaid. Alright, you know what? How about this? Alright. Alright, wait. So Seeker missiles will shoot at anything, so I can potentially get all of them. Let's see. Alright, so I don't probably have enough Seeker missiles to break it. Yep, I don't. So if we can go ahead and use that. And just keeping a distinct eye on the health bar. Let's see. Keeping an eye on the health bar may not even be useful enough because these attacks really do seem to like to lock you in. And see, you run the danger here of this becoming just another difficulty level. Oh, I guess I could have shot that at any point. Like, come on, jump, use the hat, get over here. Let's go ahead and eat one more food. Yep. And this is, I suppose, a strategy boss battle. You're not really fighting her, which at this point, this would be where you would expect the game to actually start a second phase of the battle and have her be enraged and attack you. And she does, so great. Great that I predicted that, but yep. Suppose we'll try and hit her as much as possible. Unless the game is going to be super generous, I don't know if we're going to be able to do enough damage to win here. We have like one more shot, and then we just go back to the regular gun. And then so now we've got to get up here. And just getting like a couple of hits, and that's it. Like, and there's nothing we can do. I could use a pirate flare, and that's pretty much it. So, unless the game is going to be really, really generous, I'm gonna die, and then maybe it will reset me, and then I'll have all those heat-seeking missiles that I had before. Yeah. Let's try this again. I was trying to shoot those and they didn't work. So we just have to avoid the small bubbles. We can shoot the big bubbles. Just an inconsistent system, clearly. Alright. Why did I die? Do I just like have no health at the beginning of this level? And why does it not reset me after the first continue? And give me a little bit of help. Right. Even though I'm skipping things too, this is still locking me terribly down. Alright. So I do have like up we go. And then I think at this point you probably want to avoid these. Come up here, jump hat, go over here, break that, come up here, and start going down all over this one. Got that one. This will fire that, will fire that. We need to eat this. Come on, get up here. Get up here. And that frees with me using minimal health this time. But you don't get a checkpoint anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I really just would like to have a brief moment in which I could look at the queen without her attacking me. Like the little octopuses on her hair, for instance, look like they're something that's really cool. Alright, so when she's here, I'm just gonna do this as fast as possible and see if that does a major amount of damage first. He's doing 3 each shot, and he's doing a decent amount of damage, but not like crazy amounts. One more hit, and then to this, and a couple hits there. While we're at it, let's eat our corn dog. Now, if I fire here, 1, 2, like I might get a couple of shots this way and do like 6 damage instead of climbing and getting maybe 10 damage, but more likely 5 damage. There we go. And that used like all of our bullets. So we would need to see some major improvements as far as the seeker shots in particular. If there are any other enemies with like targetable weak points. I'm not sure there really are though. I'm Risky Boots, Queen of the Seven Seas. Know your place, worm, or next time I'll make boots out of your hide and mount you your giant fish friend on my wall. Got it? Yes, ma'am.
That's yes, Captain.
Yes, Captain. And then she kicks him just for good measure. And here you can see a bunch of red-headed mermaids and the mermaid queen all happy. What do you want, fish face? Don't look at me like that. I'm a bad guy. Don't think for a second that I helped you on purpose. Urgh, never mind. In any case, you owe me one. Got that? So we get another piece, which gives us another achievement. So yeah, one of the things about a game like this where there are multiple other things to do besides the main story is the fact that you will definitely run into a scenario where half the achievements don't have anything to do with doing the main story. Excellent. With this component in hand, I'll be able to make my dynamo even stronger. What is this for me? Yeah, it does seem like they just went really, really crazy about wanting to animate her in a bathtub. And frankly, for this world where characters seem to wear belly dancing outfits by their own choice just for fun, it wouldn't be super surprising if there was a character like Risky Boots who didn't mind being completely naked in the bath in front of her men who she probably thinks nothing of and wouldn't care if they saw her naked or not. You got the grappling hook. Grapple onto hard to reach locations. Once attached, it can crawl along the ceilings too.
Excellent.
Good work, men. I'll put this grappling hook to the test right away. Keep those contraptions coming.
If this thing doesn't work, it'll be your heads.
Interesting. So we didn't get any dark magic this time. I'm gonna just go ahead and save. Way more lines of dialogue in this. We kind of know that there probably are just 2 other pieces of health upgrade, and we probably should try and collect as much of that as possible. But I do kind of wonder also if there's a chance here that we are gonna run into a level and it's just gonna be really, really difficult, and we may have to go back and just collect more food and more items or more dark energy to try and increase our health some more, which clearly our health needs to be as high as possible. And then at some point we probably should try and upgrade maybe the amount of ammo we can hold and maybe the amount of damage. Well, no, Seeker just is increasing the fire speed, and same is true for spread. Let's see. Sending out Tinkerbats, we didn't do that in the boss battle. I wonder if that would have helped. Probably wouldn't have. Alright, well, I'm going to end this recording here. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.